That's the man who fixed our car, Mommy. The snow fell softly over the city streets that December evening, each flake drifting down like a whispered promise of winter magic. The streetlights glowed warmly through the gathering darkness, casting golden halos that shimmered against the white blanket covering everything in sight. Emma Harper stood beside her broken-down car, her breath forming small clouds in the freezing air. She held her daughter Maya close, feeling the little girl shiver despite her thick pink puffer jacket. The car had simply stopped running in the middle of their drive home from Maya's dance class, and now they were stranded on this quiet street as the temperature continued to drop. Emma pulled out her phone with trembling fingers. The screen showed no signal. She tried again, holding it up higher, turning in different directions, but nothing changed. Her heart sank a little deeper with each failed attempt. "Mommy, I'm cold," Maya whispered, her small voice muffled against Emma's beige wool coat. "I know, sweetheart, I know," Emma replied, pulling her daughter even closer. She looked up and down the street, hoping to see someone, anyone who might be able to help them. But the snow was falling harder now, and most people had already retreated to their warm homes for the evening. Emma had been a single mother for 2 years now, ever since Maya's father had walked away when things got difficult. She had learned to be strong, to handle everything on her own, to never ask for help because she had been let down too many times before. But standing here in the cold with her daughter depending on her, she felt that familiar weight of responsibility pressing down on her shoulders like the snow accumulating on the car's hood. Just when she was beginning to feel truly desperate, she noticed a figure walking toward them through the swirling snow. As he came closer, Emma could see he was a man in his mid-30s, dressed in an expensive-looking dark coat. His dark hair was slightly damp from the snow, and his face showed genuine concern. "Excuse me," he said, his voice kind and steady. "Are you having car trouble?" Emma hesitated. She had learned to be cautious, especially when it came to strangers. But there was something about this man's eyes, something honest and trustworthy that made her nod. "Yes," she admitted, "it just died, and I can't get any signal on my phone to call for help." The man glanced at Maya, who was watching him with wide, curious eyes, and his expression softened even more. "Let me take a look," he offered. "I'm pretty good with cars." Without waiting for permission, he walked to the front of the vehicle. Emma noticed he was wearing what looked like an expensive suit under that coat, and his shoes were definitely not meant for trudging through snow. Yet here he was, kneeling down in the slush without any hesitation. "Do you have any jumper cables?" he called out. "I think so," Emma replied. "In the trunk." She opened the trunk with Maya still clinging to her side, and together they watched as the stranger retrieved the cables. He worked quietly, efficiently, his breath creating steady puffs of white in the cold air. He brought his own car around, a sleek black vehicle that probably cost more than Emma made in a year, and carefully connected the cables. "This should just take a few minutes," he said, flashing them a reassuring smile. "Why don't you both sit in my car where it's warm? I left the heater running." Emma wanted to refuse, wanted to maintain her independence, but Maya was shivering more noticeably now, and the cold was seeping through her own coat as well. She swallowed her pride and nodded, guiding Maya to the warm car. Inside, the heat embraced them like a gentle hug. Maya sighed with relief and pressed her cold hands against the heating vents. Through the windshield, they could see the man working diligently on their car, snow collecting on his shoulders as he checked connections and adjusted the cables. "He's nice, Mommy," Maya said softly. "Yes, he is," Emma agreed, feeling something unfamiliar stir in her chest. It had been so long since anyone had helped them without expecting something in return. After about 10 minutes, the man appeared at the window, his face bright with success despite the cold. "Try starting it now," he said. Emma reluctantly left the warmth and climbed into her own car. She turned the key, and the engine roared to life immediately. Relief flooded through her so intensely that tears pricked at her eyes. The man disconnected the cables and closed both hoods, then walked to her window. Emma rolled it down, searching for the right words. "Thank you so much," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "I don't know what we would have done without you. Please, let me pay you something, or at least get your contact information so I can repay you somehow." He shook his head, snow dusting his dark hair. "No need, I'm just glad I could help. You two get home safe now. The roads are getting worse." Before Emma could say anything else, he was walking back to his car, climbing in, and driving away into the snowy night. She sat there for a moment, stunned by his kindness, by the fact that he had asked for nothing in return. Mommy, we should go home now, Maya said from the back seat, and Emma nodded, carefully pulling back onto the road. 3 days later, Emma stood in the lobby of Thornton Industries, the company where she had recently been hired as a marketing coordinator. It was her first day, and she was nervous about making a good impression. The building was impressive, all glass and steel and modern elegance. She checked in at the front desk and was directed to the 10th floor for the new employee orientation. As she stepped out of the elevator with Maya, who had a day off from school and had come along to see Mommy's new workplace, they walked into a large conference room where several other new hires were already seated. At the front of the room stood a man in a sharp suit, talking with the HR director. Emma's heart stopped. It was him, the man from the snowy street. At that exact moment, Maya's voice rang out clear and excited across the quiet room. "That's the man who fixed our car, Mommy." Everyone turned to look. The man's eyes met Emma's, and recognition dawned on his face, followed by a warm smile. The HR director looked confused but pleased. "Oh, you've already met Mr. Thornton. This is James Thornton, our CEO. He likes to personally welcome all new hires." Emma felt her face flush as James walked over, his expression kind and somehow amused. "It's good to see you both again," he said genuinely. "And in much warmer circumstances." He crouched down to Maya's level. "Is your mommy's car still running okay?" Maya nodded enthusiastically. "Yes, you were really nice to help us." James stood and extended his hand to Emma. "Welcome to Thornton Industries, Emma. I have a feeling you're going to do wonderful things here." As Emma shook his hand, she felt something shift inside her. Maybe, just maybe, it was okay to accept help sometimes. Maybe kindness didn't always come with strings attached. And maybe, in this city full of strangers, she had found someone who saw her not as a burden or an opportunity, but simply as someone worth helping. The snow continued to fall outside the tall windows, but inside, Emma felt nothing but warmth.